Men used to be called either the alpha male or the beta male. Sigma man describes a person who is neither alpha nor beta and moves to his own beat. They get a lot of attention for both good and bad things, but what keeps people coming back for more is what we don't know about these personality types. First, what is a Sigma male? A Sigma male is a man who chooses to live his life outside of society's normal order of social dominance. Sigma males are often the ones who step out of their comfort zones, make amazing things, start businesses, are quiet and confident partners, and work hard. They are very attractive to women because they seem to be independent and able to take care of themselves without depending on anyone or anything else. So, without wasting any time, here are 10 signs that define a Sigma male and separate him from alpha and beta males. Number 1. He enjoys being alone, but he also values other people. One of the first things people notice about a Sigma man is how much he likes to be alone. Sigma males can turn on their charisma and charm whenever needed, but they are always most at ease when they are by themselves. They are introverts who need time and space to think and relax because other people drain their energy, no matter how much they care about those people. Even so, Sigma males still know how important it is to have good people around them because they know they can't reach all of their goals on their own. It can be hard to be in a relationship with a Sigma male, especially for women who are used to men who are crazy about them and treat them like princesses. Sigma men do best with women who don't need to be with them all the time. Relationships like that can be too emotionally and mentally draining for a Sigma man. Number 2. He is a leader who doesn't talk much. When you think of the traditional leader, what comes to mind? Someone who is always on the front lines and is always surrounded by officials or subordinates. Someone who is always in the top positions making executive decisions. Alpha male talks loudly, looks big and scary, and doesn't seem like the kind of person you would want to mess with. But Sigma males are just as good at being leaders as alpha males, though they do it in a different way. You can depend on Sigma men to do what needs to be done. They have the right amount of independence, self-awareness, and intelligence to figure out any problem and make something that isn't working well into something that is. You want a Sigma male on your team at all times. You get the confidence and leadership of an alpha male without the problems that come with someone with a big, fragile ego that needs constant reassurance. No matter how hard or annoying something is, a Sigma male will never give up. Instead, he will keep working at something until he finds a way around it. They are the kind of people who aren't afraid to go do what needs to be done, even if it's unbecoming of a leader. This is because the goal, not their image, is the most important thing to them. Number 3. He knows how to adapt to various situations. Alpha males can grab a social group or a situation by the neck and make themselves the leader, but it's not always possible to take charge or recommend it. When alpha males don't get the respect or power they think they deserve, they tend to become less of who they are. And that's where a Sigma male has the upper hand. A Sigma man can be in charge if they need to be, but they don't need to be the leader in different social situations and power dynamics to feel like they are in charge. They are happy to take on whatever role is needed at the time. This makes them more fluid and flexible than alpha males, making them more likely to succeed. If a Sigma doesn't put any expectations or pressures on himself, he could be a follower, a leader, or anything in between, as long as he knows he is being used in an effective and productive way. The problem is that this can sometimes make other people feel uncomfortable. The Sigma male's unwavering confidence and willingness to play any role can come off as arrogance, which intimidates people around him. Number 4. He treats everyone the same way. So much of our day-to-day lives are based on social ranks, and we learn about them as soon as we start school. Most of us learn who the popular kids are, how to act around them, and how to act around the less popular kids. These habits, behaviors, and social structures stay with us until adulthood. Sigmas can't stand these invisible and meaningless power dynamics based on nothing but unearned social status. They completely disagree with the idea that you should treat one person one way and another person another way, because some invisible rules tell you what kind of person they are. So, unlike most of us, a Sigma male has no problem treating everyone the same. One of the reasons they are such great leaders is that they don't say yes to everything just to make their way to the top. They see intelligence and value everywhere, and other people don't intimidate them because they aren't competing with them. Number 5. He doesn't need a group of friends to be himself. Alpha males usually need structure because their personality is based on how other people see them. They like to know they have control over others and manipulate them, for good or for bad. So much of who they are comes from how the people around them treat them. They have a hard time imagining who they would be without the people they hang out with. Sigma men are built in a different way. Even though they don't mind being a part of social circles, they don't get too busy with social commitments and obligations like alpha males do. They feel safe because they know their personality is real even when they are not around others. They don't follow trends and often don't know what's going on in the world of celebrity gossip. They also can't stand the idea of being popular, let alone a social media influencer. He is always the same person, no matter where he is, which makes him easier to get along with than most people. If you know who he is, you'll never have to relearn what kind of person he is. He won't let anyone or anything change who he is. Number 6. He understands the value of silence. Sigma males don't talk much. Most of the time, you won't find them talking and gossiping for hours about small things in their lives. This is because, first, they don't care about small, meaningless things that might not matter in a day. And second, they know how important it is to protect their own energy, which is one of the most important things to a Sigma man. But just because they are usually quiet doesn't mean they let other people control them. The best way to describe alpha males is as dominant extroverts. The best way to describe Sigma males is as dominant introverts. When they walk into a room, they control it with their presence and aura, whereas an alpha male might take control of the room with his voice or actions. When working with a Sigma male, giving him the time he needs to be alone is important. Most people don't realize that silence between two people doesn't always mean there's no vibe or connection. Being the person who can give a Sigma man the silence they need without being awkward about it is an easy way to become a pillar in their life. Number 7. He hates living an average, safe life. The Sigma male doesn't mind taking risks. That doesn't mean that he always acts recklessly or against the rules. Sigma males, unlike full-on rebels, don't mind breaking a few rules or taking some calculated risks if it helps them. He doesn't do this to show off his power or get people to respect him, unless that's part of his plan. Instead, he does it to move his projects forward. Every risk is taken for a reason. Sigma men are great leaders and partners because they find the right balance between realism and idealism. They know the best possible situation and come up with solutions that aren't as good but are better suited to the problem and more likely to happen. When Sigma men are in a group, they are often at the top of the food chain. They are complex people who don't like being put in one box. As a result, the Sigma male in your life is probably not an archetype. They do well as business owners, thinkers, and creatives because they can expand their horizons and change to do well in any situation. Number 8. He is extremely self-aware. One of the most important things a Sigma does is introspection. The alpha male puts himself out there for everyone to see. On the other hand, the Sigma male thinks about himself and how his actions affect his whole being. Sigma men know themselves extremely well. They know their strengths and are working hard to fix the weaknesses they think are essential. Instead of spending their time with other people, Sigma men often stay in their bubble and think about what they could have done better. Even though they don't have the best social skills, they still manage to avoid drama because they know how to handle social situations, even if they don't like them, and how to come across as likable. Since they live their whole lives in their heads and don't really look for validation, it will mean a lot to them when someone finally notices how special they are. Sigma males may be very reflective, but they are still people like the rest of us and can make mistakes, but they'll be able to fix any errors they make quickly and use failures to grow as people. Number 9. He controls his own destiny. Sigma males are independent self-starters. They are rarely in jobs other than those at the executive level or in management. As people who think a lot about themselves, they have a sixth sense for inefficiency and a knack for breaking things down into steps that can be done. The Sigma man is, of course, a very ambitious person. He may not always be the loudest person in the room, but he sticks to his beliefs and morals, even when no one is listening. As a result, he doesn't really follow the rules and tries to make his own way of life that fits him best. His tendency to be rebellious is clear here. He doesn't stick to rigid structures in his work, his creativity, or his relationships. Instead, he creates systems that work better for his goals and skills. Most entrepreneurs have the Sigma personality type. They have this dominant trait that makes them want to stand up for themselves, take risks, and make something for themselves instead of working for someone else. Sigma men are extremely confident and will do whatever it takes to get what they want and change their lives into what they want them to be. Number 10. He's not easy to understand. The Sigma personality may be one of the most difficult to figure out. Because he is neither beta nor alpha, but is unique in his own way, it's hard to describe his choices and actions because they don't fit into our binary understanding of what it means to be dominant or submissive. One thing that looks weird is Sigma male doesn't talk much, even when he is dating. His ability to solve problems usually comes first, which isn't always what she needs on an emotional level. When you combine this with the fact that Sigma men don't care about meeting traditional social expectations, they can seem like cold, robotic partners. This is the furthest thing from the truth. They are some of the best people to date because they are highly self-aware. Because they live in their own heads, they may not always tell you what they're thinking or planning, but that doesn't mean he doesn't think about you. Sigma men are primarily solution-driven. They want to keep moving forward and help the people he cares about become the best versions of themselves. This obsession with getting things done quickly can sometimes make him seem cold, but it's just his way of showing he cares. No one else is a better example of the saying actions speak louder than words than a Sigma male.